Hi, Anat. Hi,
Hello.
everyone. I'm Mair Alight, and I'm here with Anat Asia. And I have a story. I'm interviewing you. I haven't even actually told you what it is for or who will reach it. So you're trusting that I'm going to send it to you and let you see what it is. Yeah? Okay. So my question is, what is mine to do? This is a question I've asked myself. What's mine to do? And what came up was recording people answering this question. So, how I frame it is there's a story. Here's the story as I heard it from Marshall Rosenberg, who founded the Nonviolent Communication. That I think it's a story from another tradition, I don't know which one. That there's a river, and in this river, babies are floating by. We are on the bank looking at the babies. They're floating by in the river. What do we do? And that's the question. What is mine to do? I see these babies floating by in the river. Do I jump in to save them? Do I say this is God's will? Do I go away from the river and live my life? Or what happens with us and the babies? What is mine to do? And so that is my question to you. There you are with these babies. What would be your natural impulse of what would be yours to do? Would you sing to them as they float by? I mean, what would you, in this theoretical, made up situation? Here's these babies floating by in the river. What would be yours to do?
I think I will go to take them out from the water.
You would see babies floating by, you would jump in to try and
Catch
then
them and take them. Yeah.
it depends, doesn't it? How many babies are there? Is there only one or two babies, or are there 10 people on the riverbank that could come help you?
I hope that there are only two that I can take them with two hands.
And then I'm with you. We can have four that we could say. So, um, so when you think about in your life how you decided what to do, maybe this informs you, oh, I would try to save babies. Maybe uh, some people would say, I'm going to get a boat so I can station it in the river, make a rope across to catch them all. Some people might say, I'm going to go upstream, see who's throwing these babies in the water. So maybe some people would want to sing to the babies, or maybe some people would form a line, a community of people. Let's all save the babies. Maybe somebody would want to cook food for the people that are saving the babies. You see, so everyone has something to do that rises in them that would make sense to them. So, given your skills, your talent, your experience, where
I
you
think
are
I
in
was
life,
looking to search why there are babies in the river.
and maybe if we look at the babies, babies know how to swim. Maybe they threw themselves in the river and they're quite happy and they're laughing and they're just like going by, like, ha ha ha. They're enjoying themselves. Then we don't need to save them because they don't need saving. And here you are, you live in Israel, yes.
Yes, and now to tell Israeli this story about the babies, I don't know, it's a hard thing for us to hear now because I think we are all have a lot of triggers now from the situation.
Yes.
We are inside a very, very violent situation now. And I'm a peace activist, and maybe I can tell you how I become peace activist if you want to hear.
This is what interests me. How did you activate yourself? What happened that you were not born activist?
I
Maybe.
was born. I was born for a family that my grandmother and my grandfathers, they were Holocaust survivors. And my father and my uncle, they fight in the army in the wars. And I think we had a very hard time when I was a child.
So
With the
they fought in the Israeli army?
Yes, but also, you know, when the war is over, the soldiers still hold it in their hearts, maybe forever. And the wife of the soldier and the children of the soldier and everyone, I think that in a war, everyone hurts.
Yeah,
No, there is no one person that is not hurt.
yeah.
So, and also in during my army time that we have to go to the army in Israel, I didn't want to be a soldier. So I could be a hiking guide tour and guide ecology for children in my army time. I could do it. So I chose doing that. But I didn't understand exactly about politics. They put me in the occupied territories. And I didn't know that it's the occupied territories. But I
Wait,
was very happy.
I want to be clear about what you're saying. Are you saying that you were 18 years old? When you're 18,
Yes,
you go into the service in
we
some
have to.
way, either
Yes.
the army or
No,
something else.
I was a soldier that worked in the Society to Nature Reserve.
Nature
We had
reserve. Ah, okay.
sometimes it's very rare. It's not a usual thing, but I succeed to do it. To not to be a soldier. I didn't wear uniform, and I teach children ecology about. And I say,
Okay.
oh, God, good. Now I'm teaching children in the occupied territory. So I explain them about the Arabs' culture. I make them friendly with the Arabs. I can teach them things. In the first year, it was very nice, but in the second year, the Intifada started. The first
So
Intifada.
wait. When you were teaching children, were they Israeli Jewish children?
Yes,
Ah, okay. Okay.
Israeli Jewish that come to visit places, and I was in the occupied territories near Bethlehem.
Okay.
I didn't know that I didn't know politics, so I didn't know that it's the
Yeah.
occupied territories then. And then the first Intifada started, and I was in a danger of my life, 1 year in my life, because we got stones and we were shooted, and me and the children that I guide these trips. It was very, very dangerous year. And also after that I finished my army, I just traveled in a bus and I was almost killed by Arabic men that tried to kill all of the people in the bus. It's it's a little
Oh,
hard for me to explain in English all of this.
yes. Thank you. I appreciate
And
you taking the time to use English words so that I can understand you.
so all this it's touch me very deeply, and all the violence that I experienced in my childhood and all the stories of the Holocaust and all. But I wasn't yet aware for the word. I learned architecture. I want to be architect. But all these things make me think that I have to change something in me, in my life. And I start my spiritual search. And I leave everything and went to learn Chinese medicine, acupuncture. And I am a Qigong teacher now, and I'm doing also Shiatsu. So I went to study and work in that.
But you're
And
still living in Israel studying these things.
yes, I live in
Okay.
Tel Aviv. I study that, and I start working that, and that start a change in my heart.
Mhm.
And then I had two babies. I was 31 years old, and then also was a lot of violence, a lot of terror, and a lot of war between the Israelis and Palestinians. I was really afraid. Now I was a mother. I was afraid for my children.
Mhm.
And then I heard that there is a Buddhist walk for peace in north of Israel in the Galilee with Arabs and Jews together.
A Buddhist, what did you say? It was
Walk, walk,
walk,
Buddhist walk. Yes,
walking.
walk, walking. We
Oh,
went 5 days with no talking in the mountain, and while we have breaks of walking, we sit and do listening circles. And that walk changed my life because I was waking up for seeing myself, seeing the world, seeing that I can do something, that I have to do something. And I start to guide listening circles, you know, the Indian way with talking stick. And so I did it for 10 years in many kinds of groups. But I felt that it's not enough, that the people in Israel, Palestine are so traumatized, everyone. So it's not enough. And I was searching for more tools. And I studied Byron Katie for a while. I was teacher
uh,
for Byron Katie. And then I
wait, let us
become,
pause for a moment here. Because I was following you about what was going on, and I heard what you're saying as you're asking the question, what is mine to do? When you had that experience with the walking and the listening circles, then the what is mine to do was to do those walking, to do those listening circles. And then
yes,
at some point, there was another question of what is mine to do more. And you
more.
studied the
Yes,
work of Byron Katie. For people who don't know Byron Katie, it's questioning your thoughts and saying,
yes.
are these true or not? It's a
Mm-hmm.
particular process. People can look that up. It's Byron Katie. I'll put it in the show notes if people want to know that.
Yes.
It's Byron Katie.
Yes, be, because the first thing that I did was to work in many organizations that bring Jewish and Arabs to meet,
Mm.
Palestinians, and I saw that everyone are traumatized. And I asked myself, what can I do more? Not only listening circle, because
Mm.
I understood that everyone are so traumatized. And me also. I start understand that I am also traumatized.
Yeah, yeah.
And then I become know the NVC in a Roberta Wall project in
Roberta
Israel.
Wall.
Yes, that
Okay.
it called ECOME.
Echo me. Yeah.
ECOME. It
Where
was a
people live
project.
together. Yes.
Yes, it was a project of 10 years that we did in the Jericho. And in that time, Israelis and Palestinians could come to Jericho.
Yeah.
And we could meet there. Usually, it's very, very hard for us to meet because there is a border. But there are two places that in that time we could meet. Now it's also not possible. It's very hard, maybe, I don't know, danger. But then we could do it, and we built a special place for that. And we used to come for 11 days, for 5 days, eat every year, twice, 3 times or
And
more.
and Roberta Wall, she is American. and she lives in
Okay.
the United States, and she came there, and also other internationals came there and
Yes.
lived. It wasn't just Palestinians and Israelis, it was other people too, and then they went back to where they had these
Yes.
11-day
Mhm.
togetherness, and then they would
Yes.
go. Yeah.
We were with a lot of NVC trainers like Duke, Roberta, and Hagit Lifshitz, Miki Kashtan, Arnina Kashtan, and Klaus, and well, many. They came voluntarily and teach Israelis and Palestinians NVC. And then in that time, I start to work with my colleague Nadia.
Uh-huh. And
And
Nadia, say what her full name is?
Nadia Mahmoud Jiol. She is a Palestinian Israeli. She lives in
And
Israel.
she's a Palestinian Israeli who lives in Israel,
Israel,
near
yes,
you.
near my
She
house.
does not live in the occupied territories.
No.
Okay. And
But
so,
we had a dream to bring all this knowledge to the Galilee, to the place where we live, near Nazareth, near the Sea of Galilee.
in your local community, the two of you,
Yes. Mhm.
and you're Israeli Jewish, and she is Arabic, Palestinian, Muslim.
Palestinian,
Yeah.
Muslim. Yes.
So together you were demonstrating together that you were able to work and live and connect with each other and offer nonviolent communication.
Mhm. Yes, and we met and we felt very close to each other from the beginning because both of us are mothers in the children in the same age.
Oh,
Both of us, we were activists in ecological things. We teach nature, and both of us we are still healers. She's doing healing, and I'm doing Chinese medicine.
uh-huh.
So that was common, and that's
Yeah.
really helped us until today. We are for more than 12 years working together.
20 years.
More, yes. But also, we suddenly understood that there are a lot of differences between us because we came from different cultures.
Yeah.
And that's what we are doing until today. We're learning more about the differences. We teach NVC how to work with the differences, how to build gaps, how to bring bridges between us and between the people, Jewish, Arabs, Muslims, Christians, Jewish, religious, not religious, and many kinds of people that we are working them because Israel Palestine is very multicultural place. There are a lot of cultures here.
Yes. Yeah. I don't know if you know, or if I told you, if you remember, I lived in the old city of Jerusalem in the Armenian quarter.
Yes, so you know.
So I know, and I also lived in Degania, the kibbutz,
Mm-hmm.
which is by the Jordan River, very near to where you live, you
Yes,
and
very near.
Nadia.
Me and Nadia,
So,
yes.
and how I lived, when I lived on the kibbutz, there were people that came from all over the world to be volunteers there, from Japan, from
Mm-hmm.
Africa, from South America, from Europe, and so many different people wanting
Yes, yes.
to not necessarily just, I wasn't there because I was Jewish trying to do something to support Israel. I was just there to be a volunteer, a young person living on a kibbutz. Hey, this is fun,
Mm-hmm.
just to meet people from other countries and other cultures and other languages, other ways of being. So I get that multicultural thing happening. Now what you do, say something about how I connected with you was through Roberta Wall, because I'm a certified trainer of nonviolent communication. So then she said, sent an email out, who wants to be part of this group, this something that meets heart to heart? I was like, what's that? Heart to heart. I'm interested. And so how did the heart to heart form? How did that happen?
So after 7 in October, you know what happened in Gaza, Israel, Palestine. We
Yeah.
start the war. In the 8th of October, Nadia called me and she say, "Oh God, you know what happening? We have to do something." So I told her, "Yes, we have to do something. Let's do something." So we think, what can we do? We said, we can do a Zoom calls because now we can't go to occupied territories. We can't go to Gaza. We even couldn't go abroad during the war, but we could talk in the Zoom. So we said, let's do talks in the Zoom, Israeli, Palestine, and internationals. So maybe there are people in the world that want us to hate each other, to think that we are the other one is a monster. But we thought, if we keep talking, keep knowing the pain of each other, so we could keep our heart alive, to remember that Israelis are just people. Palestinians in Gaza are just people. Palestinians in the occupied territories are just people. And people that are fathers and mothers and dream about peace and hurt, very hurt from this whole situation. So this is not very popular voice in the news. You always hear about the violent,
Yes.
but I think that most of the people all over the world, they want to live a beautiful life. So we are doing over a year and a half this project. And Mair, thank you for being part of it. It's really supportive that you're there.
It's the what is mine to do. I hear you have been similar to me, going through life looking for what's mine to do, to study architecture. I went to university, I studied things, and at some point it doesn't make sense. Something else from within calls us forth to, like you're going to the on that walk. What impelled you to even think of going to this walk? And then sitting in the circles, and then the Byron Katie and the nonviolent communication, and meeting with Nadia and having children together the same age. It all makes sense to me. And that's why I ask, what is mine to do, of you, of me, of other people? And I ask of everyone who's listening to this recording, to ask that question of yourself: what is mine to do? Are you satisfied with what you're doing in life, or are you called to do something else or something more, or not? Maybe not.
So I just want to remind one thing, that now Nadia and me, we are, after many, many years that we prepared ourselves for that, we start teach how to teach NVC and multicultural meetings.
Yes.
And it's a really a big dream that we had, and now we start to it become true. And I hope that in that way we can bring more people to know each other.
Yes. I have an idea just coming up and hearing what you're saying. And we talked before this recording started about you and Nadia wanting to do what you're doing already and reaching more people. And maybe that's not maybe what you're doing in person with these Zoom calls, that's one thing. And there's another thing that is not in person, is only on Zoom. It's not the heart-to-heart calls that we've been doing. Not that it's not that, but maybe you and Nadia and maybe Roberta, me, some other people want to have Zoom calls just about exploring the multicultural listening, being with other people. Oh, now I'm just going to say for myself, I developed something I call the Withing Way. I don't know if I've mentioned that to you before. The Withing Way, I will send you, there's 3 tools, not rules. It's based on nonviolent communication. And for me, it's more simple. It's just 3 tools, not rules. You use them, you don't use them, whatever. I mean, yeah, I'm going to stop this call right now, this recording, because I think we've gotten to a place where, unless there's more that you want to say.
And maybe you can put a link for Heart to Heart and people that want to join us.
Oh,
And
yes.
also maybe we can put link for donations for what we are doing in Palestine, Israel, and if people want to help, they
Yes.
can
Yes.
donate.
So if somebody was moved to want to, just before we end this, to say if they're moved to, oh, how could I just like send you money? I can't go and live in Israel with you, but I could send you money. How could they do that? Where would they, is there a link that I can add in after this recording?
Yes, also there is my Paybox, PayPal that I know in the United States. I have PayPal. And Nadia have international bank account. So
Okay,
we will
so
pass it to
I'll put
you
that.
and yes,
You send me those things and I'll add these to the recording. I will add them. So that people can know the way to do that.
thank you.
Yeah, and also they might join the program that you and Nadia are
Yes.
doing, that maybe it
Mhm,
also involves me, Roberta, other people, I don't know.
mhm.
More to be revealed.
Yes, once in 2 weeks we have a woman meeting, and in the same time there is a men only meeting,
Yes.
and once in 2 weeks we have men and women meeting together.
Yes,
So
so
yes,
so
everyone really.
anyone who identifies as any gender can come to the women, men, gender, everyone. And then there's also a separate link and Zoom call just for people identifying as men and people identifying as women. And then one that's together. So all of this will have a way to, I use Substack and I think I'll put this in Substack because then I can list all the different ways people could contribute, and you send me the information about that, and I look forward to what's mine to do. Maybe it's the question is what's ours to do. I'm going to end it on
Thank
that
you
note.
very much.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much, Anat, and
Thank you
so
for the
treasure our
listeners for your
connection.
time and listening.